So, I lost 4 hours worth of footage while I was working on a different video. But while I was gathering that said footage, SEGA decided to drop their Sonic CrossWorlds demo, and seeing how as I neglected to record anything during the network test like an utter fool, now I think is better than ever to jump in and share my thoughts with all of you. So, this is going to be more of my thoughts from mainly the open network test, with some additional things from the demo released recently. And yeah, it's good. Like, really good. I remember seeing some of the gameplay trailers and being worried by how slow everything looked, and after getting my hands on it, thankfully, during the open network test, those fears were put to rest quickly. I don't know why Sega's marketing team decided to use footage of the slowest speed for the gameplay trailer, but hey, on Sonic Speed, which is basically your 150cc that I was playing, it passes my arbitrary check sheet list, the 3 Fs. Fun, fast, and most importantly,
feeling good!
The Grand Prix races are fun. I think having a random character act as a rival that increases in difficulty each time you beat them. So you have some actual competition, which is great, because anytime I play Mario Kart against even the hardest CPUs, I always end up leagues ahead of any other competition. So that's a nice addition. And while we're on the topic of the Grand Prix, let's go over the tracks. And they're all fantastic. I love them all so far, from what we've seen and what I've gotten to play. During the network test, we had access to the first 3 Grand Prix, that being the Donpa, Wisp, and Boom Boo Cup. Unfortunately, the demo is locked to only the Donpa Cup, which is disappointing and strange that a lot of the content from the open network test, like characters and entire vehicle types, have been locked off. I mainly played as Eggman on the Extreme Gear during the network test, but since both Eggman and the Extreme Gear is locked off, I put Knuckles in a pink car because I thought it would be funny. The first track in the Donpa Cup is E-Stadium, and man, is it a strong first impression. You got the music starting up with the piano, all the characters popping out of warp rings, you got bright neon lights, the crowd cheering, the Green Hill holograms made of voxels. It's so good! Now, the gimmick with this game is the CrossWorld rings, where you'll do a lap of the first track, and on lap 2, you will be presented with either a random track or a track that you can see. It's a bit hard to explain, but you really just gotta see for yourself. My favorite of the CrossWorlds was Roulette Road, even though I have a big bone to pick with Bingo Park and Casino Highway from Sonic Heroes. That's a tale for another day, but you go through on a short little section and then through another warp ring, and it's back to the original track for lap 3. I think it would be great if there was a mode where you could play where you played through only the CrossWorlds. Maybe call it CrossWorld Chaos. Just spitballing ideas here. Next up, the second track in the Grand Prix is Rainbow Garden. It's not terrible. It's perfectly good track, but I don't know, it doesn't really like do anything like wow. I like the large colorful flower fields. That's cool. And the part where you drive down a section of flower field steps, but there's not really much to say on this one. I think it's probably the weakest track out of the whole selection. And the music is serviceable. It's perfectly fine. Doesn't really scream out to me, but hey. And lastly is Water Palace, which is another great looking track. I especially love the jellyfish looking chandeliers at the start, but the music, again, I would have loved to have heard a new rendition of Back to Back from Sonic Rush, but The music it has is still perfectly fine. It's still perfectly good. And it fits the track. But hey, hopefully with the jukebox feature I noticed in the options menu, maybe we'll be able to choose tracks. Maybe Back to Back will be in the jukebox and you can select that track for Water Palace. Who knows? On the final race, you race through all the previous tracks, one after another, using the cross ring mechanic where you seamlessly go from the East Stadium to the Flower Garden to Water Palace. And it's really fun. As well as little comeback mechanic. First place goes from 15 to 18 points, where if you're struggling and you get to that final race, maybe you could squeeze ahead with those extra few points and make a comeback to first place. And that's the entire Donpa Grand Prix. During the network test, the other 2 cups we had access to were through the online multiplayer matchmaking. Now, seasoned viewers of mine most likely know my great disdain for matchmaking in a certain game, but I think it works quite well in this game, due to its more competitive nature being a kart racer, along with the queue time being under 20 seconds. I do wish lobbies didn't dissolve after a race completion, leading to having to constantly re-queue. It would be nice to be able to keep competing against the same people if I wanted to, instead of being thrown back to the main menu after one race. Hopefully in the actual game this won't be the cause. In the actual races, it's way more chaotic online than I expected. You got items flying everywhere. One moment I would be leading in first, and then somehow I'd end up in 7th, and then by the end I'd end somewhere in like 4th. And man, it was truly a rush of excitement when I did manage to slip into first. And figuring out which gadgets suited my playstyle best was also tons of fun. Having access to all 6 of the gadget slots in the network test allowed for tons of customization, which was really cool. From being able to use the monster truck item at the very start, you know who you people are, or turning the game into Sonic Riders 4. Gadget system is really what elevates the game, in my opinion. Not only are you able to fully customize vehicles down to the colors and materials, but also you're able to alter things like how often certain items appear in item capsules with the gadgets. While using the online, I did run into a few host connection errors, so hopefully from the network test, SEGA will have ironed those out, but you never know. One thing I forgot to mention, and I'm slapping in here haphazardly, is the character interactions. Before I started recording, I got one. I was playing as Sonic and went into the dinosaur world, and Sonic said something to the extent of, "I wonder where Shara is," which is, it's a nice little Secret Rings reference, considering that the dinosaur world is directly from that game. And it's the little things, the interactions the characters can have between each other, like getting hit or hitting another racer, which I wish would happen a little bit more. I think I only had it happen once between Tails and Omega, and once between Amy and Sage. But it seems to be, from my experience, weighted more in the side of Sonic interacting with different characters, because I kept getting constant voice lines with him. I remember specifically between him and Zaz.
Sorry, can't play favorites, Amy. Sonic, why? Here's a Whopper, Big. Oh, Sonic. Sorry, can't play favorites, Amy. Sonic, why? No, what happened? Can't dodge that wave. You think you're cute, Sonic? Stick to your lane, Zaz. I'll chase you down. Stick to your lane, Zaz. I'll chase you down.
But not a single one says Knuckles. Not a single voice line. I hope that they're pretty evenly split, so the characters will interact with each other, and it's not annoyingly rare like Golden Freddy levels. And the pre-race banter is great. Segueing off that, can you tell I'm not very good at segues? Just another thought I had while writing this. I want to see SEGA get wild with the characters, not only for the other properties like the Pac-Man and the Minecraft one, but also with their own characters. Like, take characters that haven't seen the light of the day in decades. Like, I want to see characters like Sally Acorn, the other SatAM crew. I want to see Archie stuff. I want to see stuff from the comics, the IDW comics. It could be a great way to like reintroduce these characters. Also, Boom Sonic. Even though Frontiers wanted to canonize the existence of Styx, they are very. I thought it was pretty obvious that Sonic Boom was its own thing, and it's weird. I find it very hard that the comic characters from the IDW run exist within the game worlds. You can't just throw these characters in like, oh yeah, they've always been here. Like, no, you just can't. But this could be a great way to introduce them. You have the CrossWorld rings. They come in from different dimensions, and they're here to race. And then once they do, they go away. They go bye-bye back to where they belong. The only problem with like the SatAM crew I could see would be Ken Penders. That's another whole story that people probably know. Wanting, even though he doesn't own any of the characters, not even the 4 billion Knuckles clones he made. Is this game worth 70 smackers? 70 big ones? Yeah, I'd say so. But I'm also a smart shopper, so I'm gonna pick it up when it goes on sale. Unless Sega wants to maybe slide me a free copy. Wink wink nudge nudge. So that's Sonic CrossWorlds. It comes out on the 25th this month. I think it's a pretty cool game. Okay, bye!